Hello, and a warm welcome back to my YouTube channel. And on today's video, we shall be looking at Joe Rogan's response to the fuss from the news and his interview on The Point by Ana Kasparian. Number 1. Joe Rogan hits back after claims of spreading misinformation. Joe Rogan, responding to claims of misinformation about the COVID-19 vaccine, starts by letting it be known that he has a problem with the word misinformation.
The problem I have with the term misinformation, especially today, is that many of the things that we thought of as misinformation just a short while ago are now accepted as fact.
Joe Rogan states that he's only interested in finding out the truth and having exciting conversations with people with differing opinions.
I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist. I'm just a person who sits down and talks to people and has conversations with them.
In another recap of Joe Rogan's response, as shown by Fox News, he backs his point of view by giving examples of news that would have once been regarded as misinformation, but today is entirely accepted. For example, even after being fully vaccinated, they could contract the virus. Or even cloth masks were ineffective in the fight against COVID-19.
8 months ago, if you said, if you get vaccinated, you can still catch COVID and you can still spread COVID, you would be removed from social media. They would ban you from certain platforms. Now, that's accepted as fact. If you said, I don't think cloth masks work, you would be banned from social media. Now, that's openly and repeatedly stated on CNN.
These were statements that would have got somebody banned, but are indeed facts today. Rogan did hit the nail on its head, and if there's one thing that I agree with, it's the Fox panelists who ended by stating that if Spotify had to choose between Rogan or Meghan and Harry, they should go with Rogan every single time.
Yeah, so I can tell you if Spotify has to choose between Joe Rogan and Harry and Meghan, go with Joe every time.
Number 2. Joe Rogan talks comedy, politics, podcasting, and more. Full interview with Ana Kasparian. Ana Kasparian starts the interview by massaging Joe Rogan's ego. She refers to him as one of the greatest podcasters and creative minds she has ever come across. Ana then briefly recounts her experience on the podcast, stating that she was pretty nervous.
I actually went on your podcast. When was it? I think it was in November of 2013, and I was so nervous because you do a 3-hour-long podcast with no breaks, no script, no prepared questions. You just have people on to talk.
Joe then replies by saying that he doesn't see why anybody should be nervous. He continues to say that he likes to think of the podcast as a laid-back conversation and not necessarily an interview. Joe also comments that his show is raw, uncut, and non-scripted.
Yeah, there's no producers or network or notes or direction. You just it's a conversation. Like the term interview, I don't like that term that much. I like listening to interesting people talk.
Yep.
And I think that conversation is really where it's at.
He adds that the fake and professional way of talking is on its way out, especially in politics. Rogan also points out that Obama is the least professional president we ever had, a statement with which Ana seems to disagree.
So, in terms of politics, I definitely have my issues with Obama. But the one thing that I will say that I favor Bush for compared to Obama is his speech delivery.
Joe quickly responds to this comparison by stating that the problem with Bush was that he grew up a privileged child, then suddenly became president, and therefore was unable to develop character and be able to rise to the occasion as a president.
Anybody here got 4 kids? 3 kids? You got 4? 4. 3, okay. All right, wait. I don't know why I asked that. Oh, I know why I asked it.
When asked if he would run for office,
Whether or not you would run for office at any point.
Never.
Never. Why
No
is
desire.
since he's lost faith in the system, Joe also adds that he finds the idea of one person ruling things ridiculous and believes there's no need for representative governments anymore, since the world has become a global village due to the internet connectivity.
No, I'm a comedian. I'm a cage fighting commentator. I really, there's better people for sure.
Moving on to matters of police brutality and the use of excessive force, Rogan believes that being a police officer is a tough job and may take a psychological toll on the officers. Joe also points out that it's not an issue with all cops, but rather the few who aren't qualified to handle the stress of that position. Well said, Rogan. Need we say more?
And having everyone they deal with all day lie to them. Everyone they deal with is committing a crime. Everyone they deal with is bullshitting them. Everyone they deal with is distrusting them. That's a crazy job. And it's a job that it fosters this us versus them mentality.
Joe Rogan, also responding to Anna on the issue she had with Adam Carolla, states that she should sit down with him instead of responding to each other's rants by making videos.
Look, this is what happened. Adam Carolla puts out this long rant.
Yeah.
And then you do a video response to Adam Carolla's rant.
Yes.
And then he does a video response to you doing a video response to Adam Carolla's rant. And then you do a video response to him doing a video response to Adam Carolla's rant. And then we sit down and we talk about it.
Anna then dives into marriage and relationships by asking Joe if he's relieved because he's already married and out of the dating scene. Rogan quickly jumps on that statement by agreeing and adding that it helps when one is married to the right person. Joe cannot stress the importance of knowing the kind of relationship you want to have and who you want to have it with. Rogan is spewing some wisdom here.
But you know, if you're married to the right person, but if you're married
Right.
to a fucking crazy person,
Yeah.
you know, then it's like, oh well, how do I get out of this? I mean,
Rogan also speaks on matters about plagiarism. He states that anybody who tries to take another person's idea and present it as his own is simply a piece of shit. Joe also explains how terrible it is when an established comedian steals from a guy who's just starting up.
here's what I believe, and this is most important. I believe that anybody that tries to take any of your ideas and pawn them off as their own is a piece of shit.
Right.
And they should be outed as being a piece of shit.
Finally, Rogan gives insight on how he transitioned from martial arts to comedy.
I was US Open champion and I won a bunch of Taekwondo tournaments, and from age 15 to 21, that was my entire life. That's all I did was martial arts.
He was the guy who would make everyone laugh in the locker room, and his friends were very supportive. Kudos to all of Joe's friends who pushed and encouraged him to be who he is today, a legend in the making.
When I was young, I was retarded. I think that I'm probably retarded now, but not as much.
With that, we come to the end of today's video. If you enjoyed it, please show us some love by hitting the like button and subscribing, if you haven't already. I'll catch you guys on the next one.
If I pissed you off, I'm sorry. And if you enjoy the podcast, thank you.